Today is the day that we're going to get guidelines from the president on reopening the economy. Today is the day that there will be a release of guidelines on social distancing, on returning slowly, gingerly, with trepidation. And we're all going to be a little bit nervous, let's face it. But there are going to be states that apparently are going to get the green light to start the slow, complicated, very tricky process of opening the country. And boy, is this going to be tough. This is the thing that can kind of leave you up at night. This is the kind of thing that can kind of give you a sleepless night. This is the issue that I think in many ways is inevitable, but is the scariest. I mean, the virus is pretty doggone scary, there's no question. But watching the economy die or be on life support, it's one of the worst things I've ever experienced in my life. I watching the way this country has responded from the hospitalizations and the agonizing deaths that many people have faced. We have now over 30,000 deaths in the United States, 30,985. 639,000 confirmed cases in America, over 2 million around the world, 138,000 deaths worldwide. Those are the ones reported. The death count, incidentally, in America is a little bit tricky because we found out the other day that New York tacked on thousands of deaths without even confirming that they were COVID-19 deaths. They were suspected, but they didn't know. And the president addressed that yesterday. I mean, it's like, come on, you're not going to get a confirmation that somebody died of COVID-19, but you're going to say they did just to get the number up? What's your point? And of course, a lot of people are saying, and we're in the thick of this still. Don't get any false sense of illusion. I was looking at numbers last night in Florida. Florida's numbers are growing. They're looking at the peak in Florida May 1st, somewhere through May 1st, May 15th. That's going to be the case, I think, in many states. Maybe Texas. Other states are going to keep going up exponentially. And as they go up, there will be more deaths. So we're going to be at a horrible crossroads. Last night, Senator John Kennedy from Louisiana said, we have got to open up this economy or we're going to crush the world economy, much less our own. And when we start to open the country, more people are going to die. It's a very harsh assessment. Of course, he is getting lots of criticism for it. Nobody wants to hear that. Nobody wants to hear that. But how do we fail to acknowledge it? Are there people who wish us to be locked in our homes, not going to work, not spending money, not making money? Are there people who want this to go on for the entire year? You bet. I guarantee you I could get somebody on this phone if I chose to, who's listening somewhere in America, to call this program and say, yep, the only way we can do this is to stay home till this thing is completely over. This thing is going to be completely over for many months. This is not going to happen in a couple of weeks. So we're going to play some of Senator Kennedy's clips for you. I want you to hear his take on acknowledging that the spread is going to continue when we open the country up. And you got to ask yourself as an American, where are you with that? I'm going to ask you flat out as an American and as a listener to Team Gallagher, as a member of Team Gallagher here in the ReliefFactor.com studios, back in my kitchen again on this Thursday, April the 16th. I'm going to ask you, how does that sit with you? How does that sit with you? How do you take the news that today is the day that guidelines are going to be revealed that let certain parts of the country begin opening up? And as we do that, the virus is going to spread. Because we've been under this we've been in kind of a bubble. As long as we stay home, as long as we put on a mask, as long as we put on gloves, as long as we spray everything down, as long as we socially distance, we're fine, we're invincible, nothing's going to happen, we're going to be all right. That's sort of the illusion. Stay home, everything's going to be fine. That's all you got to do is stay home, and we beat this thing. Meanwhile, businesses are filing for bankruptcy. People are being fired, laid off, furloughed. Companies are going to close that are never going to be able to reopen again. People are wondering what they're going to do to make a living again because they've been with a company for a long time. This is real. This is raw. This is not make believe. So, my question to you is, do we risk opening this country at a time when we know the virus is going to continue to spread? How much longer can we stay in the mode we're in today? And I don't have any easy answers. I know that weeks and weeks ago, when I saw this terrible trade-off having to be made, right away I got sort of called out by it by somebody. What do you mean? What do you mean by that? Somebody called me and wanted to ask me on the record how I meant that. And I do not want people to die. I do not want people to get sick. This is a terrible virus. This is a terrible way to go. This is awful to know that people can't say goodbye to their loved ones, that people are saying goodbye over iPhones and looking through glass. I can't imagine saying goodbye to my loved one without being able to hold her. It kills me to think about the agony that people have experienced.